astrology report for July 10th at 1:37 p.m. in the Pacific. I am really happy about this full moon Capricorn. This is just that grounding, earthy moon that feels like what we need right now to just root down, to get back into our bodies. The word for me this moon is embodiment. Can we just have a little more embodiment? And maybe do some gardening or hiking, nature therapy. Let's just get really real again. And I love this Capricorn energy. I feel like it's already coming in. If you are a Capricorn, I want to be friends with you. Capricorns are some of my favorite people. They're just so grounded and realistic. And this Capricorn full moon energy has me really craving a little de-modernization. I'm just so tired of all the internet, the social media, the online. You have to have this app, and then you got to do this email, and you got to have, oh my gosh. I started my small business in the 90s. We didn't have any of that. I had a door which I painted and made it into a sign, and I put it out on the street where people would walk by, and that is how I got over 20,000 clients in over a decade of doing massage and Reiki healings in Seattle. And I just really am missing the simplicity of the old world. For those of us who are a little bit older, we didn't have all this technology. We didn't have internet, cell phones, emails, email marketing, all of it. I'm just wanting to get really earthy and grounded and unplug this month with the Capricorn energy coming in. But before I get going along on this, I want to remind you that I am teaching a Lionsgate Reiki class. Talk about unplugging. We will be completely unplugged and just in a healing state of giving and receiving this powerful Reiki energy on August 8th, Friday night. We gather, we do a Reiki attunement. And then we come back together for the whole day, Saturday, August 9th, a whole day of healing, transformation. This is a level 1 Reiki class. It's open to everyone. You don't have to have any healing experience at all. And you will receive a powerful Reiki attunement that opens your heart chakra, that will begin to change your life with a 21-day healing transformation as your heart chakra opens and this energy pours in through your crown chakra. And this energy frequency increases you so that you can become an energetic match to everything that you desire, everything you're trying to manifest. I truly believe if you're trying to manifest something and it's not showing up, it's because you're just not on the right energetic frequency to receive it. So when you increase your energetic frequency with Reiki, you just start manifesting things effortlessly. This is my favorite class to teach. And this class is filling up. I have so many beautiful healers showing up for this class in particular that I only have 3 spots left. And someday I might just do a Zoom Reiki class where we all gather together on Zoom and I give you the Reiki attunement through the Zoom interwebs. For all of you who live all over the place that I know, tell me you're interested in taking a Reiki class online. I've had so much interest that I might offer something like that this fall. And so many of you keep asking me if I'm going to teach astrology classes to learn more about these big transits. We got some huge transits that are coming in this year. And if you're interested in taking a Reiki class or an astrology class online on Zoom, leave it in the comments. I would love to know. and I'm kind of starting to plan my fall into winter right now. So, um, it would be kind of fun to learn about these powerful, so many power planets have shifted into new signs like Saturn and Neptune in Aries and Jupiter in Cancer and Pluto in Aquarius. And there's just Uranus moving into Gemini this month. How are you feeling amidst the shifting ground beneath our feet? There is so much change. And this July is so crazy big as Jupiter just entered Cancer, and we have that powerful Jupiter and Jupiter Sun Kazemi. That was such a good day for manifesting, expanding all the Cancer things that I love, like your home and just being at home, self-care, nourishing yourself, motherhood. I love all the Cancer things, and I have so many Cancer friends. I want to say happy solar return to all my Cancer friends. I'm sending you some good Reiki vibes for wishes coming true, because Cancer, you are the lucky one this year. Jupiter, the king of wishes, is entering Cancer. This means make your wish list. It will really come true this year if you ask, believe, and receive. King Jupiter will give you whatever you want, especially true for Cancer. But we all have Cancer somewhere in our chart. So look to your chart and see where Cancer shows up. And I have to laugh that here's my Cancer Jupiter Kazemi. It's not that exciting, but my house of Cancer is in the 12th house of sickness. And when the Jupiter Sun Kazemi happened, I got COVID because 12th house is hospitals, sickness, and viruses. And oh my goodness, COVID this year is a doozy. This new variant. Let me know if you've had this new COVID variant. I've had COVID. I believe this is my fifth time. And this was the worst of the worst COVID variant I've ever had. It felt like there were razor blades in my throat. I would just fall asleep in the middle of the day and sleep 4 hours. Like it didn't even feel like any, like it felt like the smallest nap, and I would be 4 hours had gone by. Had to cancel all my clients. It was awful. So I hope that your Jupiter Sun Kazemi was better than mine. But I really have this feeling we have Chiron and Aries going retrograde later this month, July 30th. And I think our whole world is going to begin to see a massive COVID just surge once Chiron in Aries. Chiron, that wounded warrior healer in Aries, that when Chiron entered Aries, where Chiron is exalted, that is when COVID-19 happened. Chiron entered Aries in 2019, and here we are 6 years later, still dealing with the effects of COVID. And I think when Chiron goes retrograde at the end of this month, it's really going to be coming on strong. And so I guess I'm glad I got my COVID booster by just getting sick during this Jupiter and Cancer in my 12th house. And hopefully you're finding better Jupiter and Cancer experiences. Where is Cancer in your chart? That is what will be expanded for this whole year, because Jupiter is the expander. I really don't want to be sick all year. But maybe your Jupiter is showing up in the fourth house, and that's motherhood. And maybe you want to become a mother. There is so much fertile energy with this Jupiter in Cancer. If you are trying to get pregnant, this is a good year for it. And maybe you have Jupiter in the eighth house and you'll have a financial windfall or a maybe you'll have an inheritance or something with resources, you'll get a home loan or something. And if you do want to buy a home, this is the year. It is finally a buyer's market. Thank you, Jupiter in Cancer. That's, when Jupiter is in Cancer, it's a great time to buy a home. So there's a lot of really good things with this Jupiter in Cancer. And we've also got Uranus entering Gemini. And right now, as I record this, we have this insane thunderstorm just rolling in. I can see it right before my eyes, and this thunderstorm is brewing. That's gotta be Uranus. I like saying Uranus like a 12-year-old boy sometimes, but I also like to just say Uranus. How do you say Uranus? Anyways, Venus is going to conjunct Uranus on July 4th. That is so powerful. And Uranus will still be in Taurus. Venus and Uranus are in Taurus on July 4th when they come together for a kiss. Something unexpected and exciting could happen around love and money, but we could also go into some kind of catastrophic thinking and manifest something awful if we're not careful. So be careful with what you're thinking and telling yourself on this 4th of July. I look at this transit like we're in a simulation now, and we're really controlling what is happening from our heart space. Venus is love. Venus is the divine feminine energy rising. Venus is showing up now as morning star. And if you haven't seen Venus in the morning, I just saw Venus this morning at 4:44 a.m. Look to the east, at least that's where I live. It might be different where you live. And you will see Venus shining so bright, for she has risen as morning star and now conjunct Uranus. We can really manifest from our heart. This is about manifesting love and money, Venus's two favorite things. But you got to keep loving the dream, because life is but a dream right now, but we're manifesting it all from our heart space. So if you've had a bad breakup, if your heart is not happy, if your heart needs healing, it is time to listen to your heart. It is time to take care of your heart. I talked about this in the new moon Cancer. It's the message of the month. Take care of your heart. Tap into that frequency of divine love. Get that Reiki attunement to open your heart chakra. Call in the higher vibrations of the love to connect to source right now. This is a huge quantum leap moment when Venus and Uranus come together, and love will win. But you gotta believe it from deep in your heart. If there's any doubt, then it's just not going to happen. So trust your instincts, listen to your heart, and ask your higher powers for help. Have faith that there is a higher power, source, God, whatever you want to call it. I love Mother Mary myself. If you need help, there is help available. You can call on a higher power. And this is a real falling in love vibe that may come in such a surprising way. Uranus is surprises, Venus is love and money. So you can fall into love or money this month in such a mystical, magical way. It's like maybe you have an accident and you end up in the emergency room, but then your doctor is a total dreamboat and you guys just lock eyes and fall madly in love. Just weird. Be open to the outcomes. Don't try to control the situation. Go with the flow. Be open to a major course correction. Like maybe you lose your job, but then you find an even better one. Just allow life to guide you towards something even better than you could have ever imagined this month. That is Venus conjunct Uranus. And then Venus goes on to trine Pluto on July 7th. Venus, that divine feminine love goddess, in a positive outcome trine to Pluto in Aquarius, the great transformer. There could be an instant magnetic attraction to somebody, and this is an instantly falling in love connection. And remember, Pluto is still in retrograde, and that is bringing out those past life soulmate, twin flame connections. And what a summer of love we are having with Venus risen as morning star. And Venus is interacting with all the power players this full moon cycle. So you could also use this potent Venus trine Pluto alchemy. This is alchemy right here to manifest something that your heart has been desiring. What is it you want to call into your life on this full moon? Leave it in the comments and I will send you some manifesting Reiki vibes and using my powerful Reiki master symbols. We have one that's very specific to Uranus. It's kind of like a lightning bolt. Or maybe you just want to be calling your power back to you with this healing vortex that will be created when Venus trines Pluto. Maybe it's about self-love and honoring your own energetic boundaries this summer. Maybe you need to say no to someone or to whatever it is that you don't want to be doing right now. Maybe you need to let go of whatever is not serving you. And as someone myself who has just completed menopause, thank you very much, I have this new superpower that I gained from that menopausal journey where I don't do anything that I don't want to do anymore. And I know Michelle Obama talks about this at great length about how she did not go to the Trump inauguration and she got in so much trouble for that. But she also is postmenopausal and she's not doing anything she doesn't want to do. And my younger friends and family, especially women, I will hear them saying things to me like, oh, but you have to do that thing. You have to go to that thing. You have to, oh, you have to. And I'm like, no, I don't have to. And guess what? I'm not going to. I will choose myself over others for the first time in my life. It is so empowering. You got to try it sometimes, especially if you're a people pleaser. Choose what you want to do over doing the thing for other people. It feels so liberating to do that. And speaking of liberation, let's talk about Uranus in Gemini coming in July 7th. This is a Uranus is an 84-year orbit. So Uranus spends about 7 to 8 years in each sign. So we'll have Uranus and Gemini for the next 7 to 8 years. Uranus will retrograde and then go back forth, of course. And this is a time to get to know your Gemini house because it's going to be activated by Uranus. So let me know in the comments what house Gemini shows up for you, and I'll give you a mini intuitive reading in the comments. For example, my Gemini is in the 11th house of friendships and community. And I'm really craving to just gather in retreats with my healing Reiki tribe as I'm planning some hot springs retreats to come. I'm looking into doing a hot spring retreat at this really wonderful place nearby. And this will become a Uranus return for Trump and a Uranus return for the United States because both Trump has Uranus in Gemini, and so does the United States. So it just got interesting, and it is going to continue to be really interesting. I'm going to have to do a separate report about this Uranus return for Trump and the United States, our countries transit. Woo, we are just getting started with some surprising, exciting Uranus and Gemini that says expect the unexpected. And Uranus rules over lightning, electricity, our power grid, our internet, geomagnetic activity, earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, hurricanes, those sudden, shocking events that will rock our world. In Gemini, it becomes even more erratic. Oh, that is the word for Gemini, erratic, as we will begin to experience some real Earth crisis events over the next 8 years. And this can be a volatile time, but it also brings in good news for quantum leap, manifestation superpowers, aha moments, major breakthroughs as the energy is speeding up and we can manifest things quicker. And Uranus rules freedom. So maybe we can find financial freedom. Maybe we can find freedom in our relationships. And I would love it if the Pacific Northwest could just break up and break free from the rest of America and truly become Cascadia, our own sovereign country, because that's something people talk about in the Pacific Northwest all the time, if only in our dreams. In my own mind, I live in Cascadia, not America. But anyways, we're going to have all kinds of brand new directions showing up in our world, brand new technology, innovation, electric planes that you could drive like cars, maybe. There's so much discovery that is going to happen in the next 8 years. We will be blown away. It's an exciting time to be a scientist, an engineer, or just tap into your think outside the box, creative Jedi mind and really create something new for yourself. This is a time we're really going to want to nourish our brains, big brain energy here. And I really so believe in these two thorn supplements. One is called Brain Factor and the other is MEMORACTIV. They are the most nourishing brain supplements from Thorn. I'll put a link in the description. And Brain Factors is this combination that helps you hyper focus. And all these studies have shown it increases neuroplasticity. That means your brain can continue to grow by actually growing new brain cells and new brain pathways. Even all the way till you're 100 years old, you have neuroplasticity. But these brain factors, it can actually help your brain to renew itself. And this supplement is my go-to when I have to do something I need to think a lot about or make big decisions. And MEMORACTIV is my favorite for just memory issues as I'm getting older. MEMORACTIV has a lot of ginkgo and other supplements that helps me remember all these transits I want to talk about. There's so much going on in July. But if you want your brain to be at its highest functioning as we move into this Uranus and Gemini, you might want to check out the Brain Factors and MEMORACTIV from Thorn. I'll link them down in the description and you can get those and start thinking with big brain. Uranus is also the great awakener. That's what we call Uranus, the great awakener. So we're all going to be having that collective awakening I've been talking about for years now, but it's really coming in strong now with Uranus and Gemini. The great awakener transit will bring us that fifth dimensional ascension. Some of us are almost there and we're waiting for everyone else to catch up. This is a time to keep your vibes high as you're manifesting now based on your energetic frequency. So, what is your frequency and how much can you manifest and how can you increase your frequency? These are the things that are going to become important as we move into this collective awakening. And Gemini is all about the twins, the sign of good versus evil. There's so much polarity and unexpected, shocking events related to this kind of good and evil polarity. And it can feel like we're all living on these different energetic planes of reality for the next 8 years, where we are all experiencing reality differently. And then you throw in artificial intelligence and what is even real and what is even happening right now. Do we even know? So it's really interesting times. And then we are going to have that whole Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, magical triangle of sacred alchemy that's happening this year. It begins from 2025 to 2028, where Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto will be harmoniously aligned in this powerful grand trine, the likes we've never seen. Neptune being at the Neptune in Aries. Neptune, the ocean god, now in the sign of fire, which is very volatile, at the midpoint of Uranus trine Pluto. This forms this trine, this extremely rare configuration that will also be powerful. This is going to change our world as it comes within a 2-degree orb for over 45 weeks, people. This magic triangle is the most positive, significant, and consequential planetary alignment of our lifetimes. And the first decan of Aries, Gemini, and Aquarius. Where is your Aries? That's Neptune. Where's your Aquarius? That's Pluto. Where is your Gemini? That's Uranus. That is where you need to be looking at your chart to see where the alchemy shows up for you. And if you want to get an astrology reading and find out how this incredible trine of becoming, this is a time when we step into our power, we become who we were born to be, deep soul lessons. I'm going to be doing a sale on this magical trine of sacred alchemy. I'm going to link it down below, and you can find out how this amazing period of discovery and revelation will benefit you personally based on where it shows up and what other transits it's reacting to. And I'm going to talk more about this because this transit is huge and it's going to be going on for 3 solid years. So I'm going to do a separate recording about this whole thing because it's really going to be especially affecting Generation X. That's me. So I'm really interested in what is going to happen for Generation X. All of us that were born in the 70s are really going to be reeling from this one. So stay tuned for more on that. But we also have Juno stationing direct in Scorpio on this full moon exact. If you've been having a major relationship overhaul or conflicts, it's about to get easier now. If you're still together after this Juno retrograde that has been unraveling so many relationships I know, if your relationship has survived all the upheaval of the last few months, your relationship is probably worth keeping at this point. And I've been doing a lot of relationship charts. As soon as Juno went retrograde, I had all these people contact me and want relationship astrology charts last month. And I am loving what is showing up for people this year as Venus is empowered. Women are getting their needs met or they're moving on from bad relationships. It's one or the other. If they can't get their needs met, they're moving on, they're leaving. And I can even help you perfectly time out your divorce with your astrology. That's really interesting. I just did a chart about that, and it is incredible to see how you can calculate exactly when you should get divorced so that you are the most empowered and your partner is the least empowered, because you don't want to get into a war with somebody who has more power than you. So you can kind of look at the power dynamics in an astrology chart. It's so fascinating. I love this work. And if you're happily in love, as I know many people are, and maybe you found true love over the summer and you just want to know how you relate with your partner, I'm also going to do a couples synastry astrology sale with Zoom, and I will link that in the description. You can find all these astrology sales in the Zoom. And the other astrology chart reading everyone has been asking for all summer long is the astrocartography. Where in the world should you live if you are considering leaving America altogether, like so many of my clients are? I've done several charts for Portugal. Over the last 2 years, it feels like everybody is moving to Portugal. It's going to be so full of all these cool healers, and so many people I know are moving to Portugal. It sounds lovely. So I will link an astrocartography sale in the comments too. And I'm already going to start doing my eclipse sale for the fall eclipses, because last time I had to turn off this sale, as it does take me a minute to create these. These are very personalized eclipse astrology readings. So if you are a Pisces or a Virgo, or you have your North Node, South Node in Pisces or Virgo, get your chart now so you can get ready to be ready for what is coming, the big life-changing eclipse. Where is your Pisces? Where is your Virgo? We're all going to be feeling it there. If you know what house is your Pisces and Virgo, or what planets are in Pisces and Virgo, leave it in the comments. I'll give you a little mini reading. And then get your chart now, because on September 7th, we have that lunar eclipse in Pisces. I'm already looking at that astrology. It is off the charts. And September 21st, we will have a solar eclipse in Virgo. Dun, dun, dun. And then we also have Saturn. Saturn is going retrograde on July 13th. Whew, just feels heavy. It feels really heavy. I will drop a video I did about Saturn retrograde so you can learn how to navigate this powerful Saturn retrograde if you want more info. It's so complicated. I'm going to talk about it later. And then July 18th, mark it in your calendar. We've got that good old Mercury retrograde. And I did a video about how to thrive instead of just survive a Mercury retrograde. I'll drop that down for your survival guide. And as I told you, Chiron will go retrograde July 30th. I believe I have a lot of Chiron in Aries information I can share for you as somebody who has Chiron in Aries. I talk about Chiron in Aries all the time. And I'm going to talk about that one more in my Leo new moon as I prepare for my Lionsgate Reiki class. And I love the Leo new moon. I'm a Leo rising, so Leo new moon, Lionsgate. This is when I am at my peak. I swear, I love the Leo energy. And this full moon in Capricorn with Uranus in Gemini really has me thinking about the Thunderbird symbol right now. Thunderbird. I had a lot of Thunderbird energy when I was pregnant with my son, and he was born in a lightning storm. Just like Thor. He's just, yeah, the Thunderbird energy is coming in strong this summer. Maybe it always comes around July because my son is a July birthday. But this Thunderbird vibe is bringing these thunderous skies that we're having. There's thunderstorms all across the world right now, and thunder skies are an omen of war. And we really seem like we're at the precipice of a massive world war. And when thunder and lightning are rattling in the heavens, it was believed to be a sign that great spirits great spirits are warring in the skies above and causing this conflict on Earth. And I really think of Thor, and this was also a foretelling of victory. If you were at battle and there was a thunder lightning storm where you were, that would meant you were probably going to win the war for tribal wars who fought on the ground. And they would do ritual ceremonies and dances around the Thunderbird image. It's very common in indigenous Native American cultures. And there's myths from the Haida culture that say Thunderbirds are real and they're like larger eagles that can shoot lightning out of their eyes. And they dwell high on the mountain tops, just like the Capricorn mountain goat. And they can be seen, Thunderbirds can be seen atop the highest spruce and cedar trees or the old growth rainforest, so that no man could ever see them. They stay really high in the sky and they control the weather with their powerful wings and their eyes that shoot lightning. And they only show themselves to people in the dream world. So maybe you've had a dream of a Thunderbird, and I just love that imagery. I don't know. I just had to include the Thunderbird here because I think we're in for some serious thunder with all this Uranus energy. And now I just want to read the Sabian symbol for you for 18 degrees of Capricorn. The Union Jack flag flies from a British warship. And there we have a symbol of war once again. And the keynote is the protection afforded to individuals and groups by powerful institutions in charge of maintaining order. And Great Britain's fleet policed the seas under the international principle of the freedom of the seas. And the times have changed, but power is still required to maintain social order and a relatively peaceful international relations. Justice and compassion must balance social power of privileged groups. And this brings a realization of political power and its dangers of war as it disturbs the peaceful seas. And it feels like we're going to have a war over water. Neptune and Aries. Neptune is water. Aries is war, war over water, war at sea. And we're moving into Capricorn 19. I love to read the Sabian symbol, where we're at and what are we moving into. Capricorn 19, a 5-year-old child carries a bag filled with groceries. And the keynote is a child rising to the occasion. When asked to help out beyond one's normal development, the value of early conditioning and teaching one how to fulfill the responsibilities of everyday life. And children are growing up early now, and children at an early age will be expected to assume a powerful family role beyond their normal capacity in an accelerating pace of technological society. And this brings a pattern of accelerated growth. And that is interesting. So there's war, and we need to have this accelerated growth to respond to it. And that's where we're at for this Capricorn full moon, that fast-paced evolution. Evolution is so Uranus and Gemini. We are evolving. And that's also very Pluto. You have to evolve or die trying. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful Capricorn full moon. Leave it in the comments what you want to release this full moon, because full moons are all about releasing something. And if you make a comment of what you're going to release, I will send you Reiki. Thank you.